Hello students, Ms. Slyman here, and now we're talking about 5.2 and probabilities. So I think at this point in your mathematics career, you know that probability is number of times an event does happen divided by the total number of trials. And that's if we actually run an experiment. Theoretical probabilities is the number of ways that an event could happen. So theoretically, tossing a coin getting a head is 1/2. And the implication of this is that every 2 times I flip a coin, I would expect that at least one would be heads. So if I look at running an experiment, so this diagram here, I'm looking at sort of an experiment of flipping coins. So if each of these values, so my y-axis is the probability as each event happens. So notice that as I run the more experiments, my theoretical probability value begins to approach the experimental probability value approaches the theoretical value. So if I just run one experiment, it could be that so if this is experiment 1 and I get heads, then my probability of heads would be equal to 1. But then in my second or third or fifth experiment, so let's say this is 5 experiments, and in those 5 experiments I got heads that first time, but then never got heads again. Well, then my probability of heads would be 1 out of 5, so I've dropped way down here. But then I keep flipping coins and I get some more heads. Eventually, as I get out towards infinity, my probability is going to get closer and closer to the theoretical probability. So probability of rolling a prime, please remember that 1 is not prime. So a 6-sided die, the prime numbers would be 2, 3, and 5. So our probability of getting a prime would be 3 out of 6, or 1/2. All right, I've got 6 marbles total, picking 1, probability of red, 2 out of 6, probability of blue, 4 out of 6, probability of green, well, there are no green, so that's a 0% chance. Probability is always between 0 and 1.